Hi, so today we're going to be making a DIY liquid Castile soap. I first want to apologize for the quality of the video. I didn't realize I was recording upside down. So let's get started. I already have my oils, which are coconut and olive oil, and you're going to need your lye, which is potassium hydroxide. You should also have a stick blender or at least a whisk. Your water, which is distilled water. You'll need some protective equipment, and I'm going to be putting on my gloves, and I definitely need my mixing spoons, and I also have a thermometer just to check the temperature. We're going to want to bring our oils up to 160 degrees as they're warming in the crock pot. So set your oils in the crock pot first so that they can warm up. Okay. So right now we're going to test the temperature of the oil, and it's at about 165. You want it to get to about 160. So now we're going to mix up our lye water. Remembering this is with potassium hydroxide. I'm going to put on my goggles and let's see how we go. So I've already measured out my lye. I'm using about 24 ounces of olive oil, 16 ounces of coconut oil, and for the potassium hydroxide, I'm using 9.35 ounces. So this is just part of the mixture. And these fumes are very, very strong. And if you hear that, how potassium hydroxide sounds when it's mixing. I'm actually just now putting on my mask because the fumes are pretty strong. So I'm just mixing part of it, and now we're going to do the rest. So you want to slowly add this and stir while you're adding. Sound like a little fizzy as you're mixing. I don't know if you can hear that, but don't be alarmed. That's just the lye and the water reacting. Almost like it's boiling. So let's check the temperature just so we can see how hot that is. That's 147 degrees right now. Okay, so I think that's all pretty mixed in. I've got all my lye in there. And once you have your lye water mixed up, off my mask, but I'm going to keep my goggles on. So those fumes, just make sure that you are in a well ventilated area. If you're working in your kitchen, you can turn on your vent fan. So I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, and we're going to move to the next phase. Okay, so now we have all of our oils at a good temperature, and we have our lye water mixed up. Now it's time for us to add the lye to the oil, and we're going to start mixing. And here we go. This for about for about a minute or two, and it's already a little thick, but you do want to keep mixing it. You mix for about 5 minutes straight until it gets to a light trace, and it's kind of thick. I don't know if you can see that. There are a lot of bubbles here, but it has thickened up. So after you did that, it took, I would say, 1 to 5 minutes. Then you want to let it, you want to come back every 30 minutes or so to keep mixing until we get it to a point where it's too thick to blend with our stick blender. So I'm going to check this in a little bit. So at this point, we are at trace. It should be thicker, creamier, and almost taffy-like. When you lift it up, it'll kind of pull and string together. And as you can see, there's some clumps forming, so we are definitely getting now to the next stage, which is the mashed potato stage. This is looking good. It took about 15 to 20 minutes to get to trace, and I mixed every 5 minutes or so with the stick blender. I would say anyway. I feel like it is. It's definitely getting to the mashed potato phase because it is thickening up pretty fast. See that? It's turning the mashed potatoes right before our eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. Before I put the lid on, I just wanted you to see how thick this is. This is the mashed potato stage. And now I'm going to put the lid on, okay? And let the soap cook. We are going to let it cook for about 3 hours, but every 30 minutes or so, we're gonna come back and mix it. And what we're gonna be looking for is the gel phase, or the phase where it gets really translucent, and that will tell us, that's when we'll test to see if our soap is ready. Okay? So now we're just gonna let it cook. So I actually came back before the first 30 minutes because I'm so curious. I just wanted to see what the soap would be doing. It's gonna do different things at different phases. So this is really a very thick, now it's turning into a hardened paste. It's almost like, you know, when you put the mashed potatoes in the fridge, how it's kind of hard to move around. It's still mashed potatoes, but you got to put it in the microwave to kind of chill. I I actually see some gelling going on right here. I don't know if you can see that. The light is kind of blocking, but it's starting to get translucent around the edges. So here I'm just coming back to do my 30-minute checks, and as I do that I stir and check to see where we are in the soaping process. Check out my liquid soap part 2 video so that you can see the final parts of the process. Thanks for watching.